I'm Amelia. Today, we're going to talk about the good girl trap, how being too nice quietly destroys your relationships. So, do you recognize this person? She's the one who always says yes to every request, even when she's exhausted. She's the one who senses tension in a room and immediately tries to smooth it over. She apologizes for things that aren't her fault. She works tirelessly to anticipate her partner's needs, often forgetting her own. On the surface, she is the perfect partner, the perfect friend, the perfect daughter. Selfless, giving, and kind. But deep inside, she feels a growing resentment, a profound exhaustion, and a quiet loneliness. She feels invisible. You believe you're being kind, generous, and loving. But what if I told you that, on a subconscious level, this behavior isn't driven by love, but by fear? What if your niceness is actually a sophisticated survival strategy you learned long ago, and it's now the very thing that's preventing you from having the authentic, deeply connected relationships you crave? Today we're pulling back the curtain on what I call the good girl trap. We'll explore why being too nice is one of the most dangerous things you can do for your relationships, and most importantly, how to begin to heal. So, what exactly is this trap? It's not a clinical diagnosis, but a powerful behavioral pattern where your actions are primarily driven by a deep-seated need for external validation and a crippling fear of disapproval or conflict. The core belief of the good girl is, my needs are less important than others' needs. To be loved, I must be pleasant, helpful, and never a burden. If I say no, people will reject me or stop loving me. Conflict means I've failed, so I must avoid it at all costs. To be worthy, I have to earn love through constant giving and self-sacrifice. This belief doesn't come from nowhere. For many of us, it was programmed in childhood. We were praised for being quiet, obedient, and helpful. We learned that expressing our own anger, disagreement, or strong needs could lead to disapproval from parents, teachers, or friends. So we learned to suppress those parts of ourselves. We put on the mask of agreeableness, and we wore it for so long, we forgot it was a mask. We thought it was our face. The problem is, this survival strategy that helped us as children becomes devastating in our adult relationships. Let's look at the hidden costs. First, being too nice breeds resentment. Every time you say yes when your soul is screaming no, you are betraying yourself. Every time you swallow your feelings to avoid a conflict, you don't make them disappear. You bury them. And these buried feelings, the unheard needs, the unexpressed frustrations, they accumulate. They turn into a silent, toxic resentment that slowly poisons the relationship from the inside out. You end up feeling angry at your partner for not meeting needs you never had the courage to voice. Second, it kills authenticity and true intimacy. A relationship thrives on truth. True intimacy is the feeling of being fully seen and loved for who you really are. But if your partner has only ever met the nice, agreeable, conflict-avoidant version of you, then they don't actually know you. They are in a relationship with your representative, your mask. And you can never feel truly loved if you're hiding your true self. The very conflict you're trying to avoid is the fire that forges real connection. Third, it can attract unbalanced relationships. When you operate from a place of excessive giving and accommodation, you can unintentionally attract partners who are comfortable with taking more than they give. Your pattern of self-neglect can enable a partner's selfishness. You teach people how to treat you, and if you teach them that your needs don't matter, they will eventually learn that lesson very well. And finally, it leads to burnout and a complete loss of self. The sheer effort of constantly monitoring other people's moods, anticipating their needs, and suppressing your own is exhausting. It's a full-time job with no pay and no vacation. Over time, you can become so disconnected from your own inner voice that when you ask yourself, what do I want? What do I need? The only answer is silence. This is the ultimate tragedy of the good girl trap. In your quest to be loved by everyone, you lose connection with the one person who matters most, yourself. So, how do we begin to heal? This is not about becoming selfish or aggressive. It's about learning to be authentic. It's a journey of reconnecting with your true self. Step 1. Start small and build your no muscle. If you haven't been to the gym in years, you don't start by lifting the heaviest weight. The same is true for boundaries. Your no muscle is weak. You need to train it on small, low-stakes situations first. Instead of an immediate yes to a social invitation you're unsure about, practice saying, "Let me check my calendar and I'll get back to you." Instead of agreeing to a task you don't have time for, try, "I'd love to help, but I'm at full capacity right now." Each small no builds your strength and tolerance for the discomfort that follows. Step 2. Reconnect with your internal compass. Before you say yes to anything, pause, take a breath, and ask yourself this question. Am I about to do this out of genuine desire or out of fear of what will happen if I don't? Is it a yes of excitement or a yes of obligation and anxiety? This simple pause is your chance to check in with your true feelings before your autopilot people-pleasing kicks in. At first, you might not even know the answer, and that's okay. The goal is to start asking the question. Step 3. Learn to tolerate discomfort. When you first start setting boundaries, it will feel terrifying. Your nervous system will scream at you that you are being selfish, that you will be rejected, that you are a bad person. This is the old programming trying to pull you back into line. Your job is to learn to sit with that discomfort, to breathe through the guilt, to understand that another person's disappointment in your boundary is not your emergency. You are not responsible for managing their emotions. This is the hardest part of the journey, but it is also the most liberating. Step 4. Communicate boundaries with kindness and clarity. Setting a boundary doesn't have to be a declaration of war. It can be a calm, clear statement of your reality. You can use simple formulas. For example, "I can't do X, but I can offer Y. I can't help you move on Saturday, but I can bring you pizza afterwards." Or a simple, honest statement, "I need some quiet time to recharge tonight." No elaborate excuses are needed. You are not asking for permission, you are stating a fact. Healing from the good girl trap is a journey of unlearning. It's about unlearning the belief that your worth is tied to your usefulness to others. It's about realizing that true kindness is not about being nice. It's about being real. A real yes from an authentic person means 1,000 times more than a resentful yes from a people pleaser. Reclaiming your no doesn't make you selfish. It makes you authentic. And the right people, the people who truly deserve a place in your life, won't leave when you set a boundary. They will finally get the chance to meet, respect, and love the real you. What is one small boundary you could set this week? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And for more insights on how to build a more authentic life, make sure you subscribe.